Today we're shooting a short video, just a how-to on playing Gunslinger. As few as 2 or as many as 5. The way we play the game is very simple, short, and sweet. The game can be played very quickly, even with the maximum number of players. Thanks guys for playing with us today. Today we're going to play a 3-player game just to get the feel for the game. There's a couple of cards you need to know about. In this game there are only 4 types of cards. You have special cards, you have item cards, you have attack cards, and you have defensive cards. Special cards always get played when their text is fulfilled. So for instance, if someone plays a defensive card, then Lily-Livered Coward could be played, which says negate 1 defensive card. Item cards either mitigate the damage that's dealt to you, or they increase the damage that you're dealing to others. For instance, a Peacemaker does 2 points of damage, where a revolver only does 1. A barrel essentially gives you 2 points of life that you can use at any point in time. Other cards do other things. Each item is individual, and you need to read the text on the card, and it'll tell you exactly what to do. There's really no guesswork. As far as attacks go, every attack is a little bit different. So for instance, Trick Shot does 1 point of damage and can turn over specific cards like dynamite, and it can also turn over weapons for other players. Disarm is allowed to be used as a brawl attack, where Trick Shot is not in the expansion. However, with Disarm, you can also turn over weapons, but you cannot disarm the dynamite. So, as we're playing the game, you just need to, again, read the text on the attack cards. Only played if you are assigned damage. What I mean by that is if somebody plays an attack like Trick Shot against me, I might be able to play a Graze. So Trick Shot does 1 point of damage, and Graze negates 1 point of damage. Combat Roll is a little bit different. It negates 1 point of damage, but also allows you to play a Shoot card. So you can either play a Shoot card, which is a specific card, like this one here, okay? Or you can play a card face down as a Shoot. Either one works. As far as the makeup of the cards, all you need to be concerned with is the imagery. Now the imagery is a little bit different for each card. We tried to make it as best we could so that you can get an at-a-glance view of the cards. If you see purple in the text, it will be a special card. Special cards just have some emblems around the outside of the card on all corners. If you look at an item card, you're going to see green text. It also says item right underneath the text, and it has a picture. So if it has a picture, it's an item card. If you look at the attack cards, they always have a heart on them. If it has a heart, it does some kind of damage. You may have to play it a certain way in order to get the damage, but it does do damage. If you take a look at defensive cards can be used in a couple of different ways, but most of the time it's as simple as you take damage and you play a defensive card, and then that card negates a certain amount of damage. They also have things like Combat Roll that allow you to play other specific cards, such as Shoot. So that's a quick overview of the game cards. They're really, really simple. I'm telling you, the best way to play the game is just to read the text. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and shuffle. There are a couple of ways to play. You'll find those on our websites. You'll find them in the rules. But there's Stud, there is Draft, and there's a Draw game mode. So we're going to do Draw today. In Draw, I'm going to deal 5 cards to all players, and they're going to choose whether or not they want to hand me back 5 cards or up to 5 cards, and as the dealer I will give them back the same number of cards. So you're never down any cards. It's your option to return cards and get the same number back. So here we go with the deal.
This counts as public.
5 cards. Everyone's allowed to look at their cards. all players should have 3 points of damage that they can take, and they should have a revolver card. You're going to take a look at your cards, and every player will decide whether or not they want to return these cards back to the dealer and then get the same number back or not in this game type. How are we doing, guys?
I'm good.
Okay, everybody's good. Everybody's decided to stay. No one turned in any cards, so we will go ahead and start the game.
I'm good.
Okay, everybody's good. Everybody's decided to stay. No one turned in any cards, so we will go ahead and start the game. Now, in order to play this game, some people find this particular step and way to play a little bit confusing, so let me clear all this up for you. When you play this game, everyone plays the very beginning of the round at the same time. The way that works is you find either an attack card or you find an item card. So again, attack cards have some form of a red heart on them, and they say attack or ranged attack or brawl attack, but they will say something on there that negates, that says attack, and they'll have a red heart. So once you find that card, you might put it up next to your head. Or you would find a green item card with an image on it, and if it has a picture, you know it's an item card. You put that card up next to your head if you want to. Now, guys, go ahead and take your card, put it next to your head. Now, at this point in the game, everyone's going to play their card. They will play attacks in front of the player they want to affect. So if I wanted to hit him with my attack, I would play my attack against him, in front of him. If I wanted to play an item card, I would play that item card in front of myself. Okay? Items help you, and attacks hurt you. So don't play an attack card in front of yourself, because then you're shooting yourself. And don't play an item card in front of someone else, because then you're giving them an advantage. It's probably not a good idea. So here's how we're going to do this. Everybody's going to put their card up next to their head. Now the dealer, in this case, is me, and I'm going to go ahead and say go. Now when I do, all players will place attacks in front of the player that they want to do damage to, and they will play defenses in front of themselves. Or, I'm sorry, they'll play items in front of themselves. My bad. Are you ready? Go. Okay. So, here, we had a Peacemaker played, so he got an item out. We have a double tap played by myself, and I played the double tap, which is 2 points going out because I have a revolver. Then he played a shoot card, which is 1 point coming my way. I'm going to choose to play a graze card, which is a -1 damage, so I'm not going to take any damage unless someone wants to play a special card called Lily Livered Coward. If they don't want to, we just put that off to the side, and now he has 2 points coming his way. How would you like to respond?
I would like to do a combat roll.
Okay, so he's got 1 point he's going to take and combat roll out of the way. Now you have an option to play a card face down as a shoot if you'd like. Okay, so he's going to play a shoot card face down, which is any card he wants to play face down, and that's a shoot card back to me. Or he could play an actual shoot card if he had it in his hand. He has 1 point of damage coming his way. Do you want to respond to that, or are you going to take 1 point? Okay, so he's gone ahead and taken 1 point. If anyone had the card Bleeder, they would have the option to play it now, because he physically removed a point of damage from himself. I have 2 points coming my way. And I don't have a defense right now, so I'm going to take 2 points of damage right off the bat. Nothing I can do about it. Okay? And there's the proper way to play Bleeder. I'm out. We're going to go ahead and clear the board because there's nothing else going on. Now, something I want to point out real quick. This gentleman over here has pulled out two weapons. Those 2 weapons are Peacemaker and Revolver. At the beginning of the round, he's going to have to choose which one of those 2 weapons is going to be his active weapon for the entire round. To do that, he simply places one over the other or pushes one forward. Any way is acceptable, just to note which gun you're using for that particular round. Now, between rounds, everyone gets 2 cards. Now, everybody got 2 cards, and once everyone gets 2 cards, we go back to the beginning of the round. So that means that you put a card up next to your head that's either an attack or an item. Okay, so guys, they have an attack or an item. Now they're going to place that card down, go. Okay, both players played an item. In this case, we had a barrel and we had a good book. Good book will negate the damage done off of a single shot, but it doesn't stop dynamite and it doesn't stop a shotgun. That's written very clearly on the card. A barrel just adds 2 points of damage that anyone can then put wherever they need. So guys, next round we're going to deal 2 cards to each player. There's your cards. And then what's going to happen is they're going to do the same thing again. They're going to put the card up next to their head, either an item or an attack. Go. Alright, so Trick Shot and Peacemaker was played. So Trick Shot does 1 point of damage, and it turns over a weapon. So here's Trick Shot. Okay, so at the end of the round, Peacemaker will turn over, and then he's got to choose whether or not to take a point of damage or not. Okay, so he's going to good book the damage, which means he'll take no points of damage. Alright. Now, Trick Shot and Disarm have this function where they turn a card over. Trick Shot and Disarm both do it slightly different, but the effect is the same. The card is turned over in front of the player. You guys, item or attack? Go. Okay, so we've got a Trick Shot and a double tap. So he hits you twice with a Peacemaker for 4 points of damage. You hit him once with Trick Shot. So how do you want to take your damage? So he's going to combat roll out of the way, and then you could play an attack. There you go, he plays a shoot card by playing a card face down, doing a total of 6 points of damage coming this way. So you have an option to respond. Okay, so he played Miss Me, and he got 2 points taken care of, but the other 4 are unfortunately going to get through. The Trick Shot does still go off in case there was another player. He would choose probably the Peacemaker and turn that card over for the Trick Shot. And that would be the end of this game. Congratulations. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. I hope that answers your questions. If there are any more questions, please feel free to ask. I will explain anything you need to know. We will be doing a few more detailed videos on specific card play between specific cards that we've been asked about. See those in another video. Have a good one.